They want to throw white children and colored children into the melting pot of integration, out of which will come a conglomerated, mulatto, mongrel class of people. Both races will be destroyed in such a movement. I, for one, under God, will die before I'll yield 1 inch to that kind of a movement.
I want young men and young women who are not alive today, but who will come into this world with new privileges and new opportunities. I want them to know and see that these new privileges and opportunities did not come without somebody suffering and sacrificing for them.
I hereby defy a ruling handed down by the United States Supreme Court ordering desegregation of public carriers. Alabama state law requiring segregation of races on buses still stands. As long as I am president of the Alabama Public Service Commission, I am going to see that our segregation laws are upheld.
I have this day issued orders to the chief of police and the police department to continue to make arrests in all violations with reference to the segregation laws. And as long as I am police commissioner of the city of Montgomery, I intend to follow this course.
This morning, the long-awaited mandate from the United States Supreme Court concerning bus segregation came to Montgomery. This mandate expresses in terms that are crystal clear that segregation in public transportation is both legally and sociologically invalid. In the light of this mandate, and the unanimous vote rendered by the Montgomery Improvement Association about a month ago, the year-old protest against city buses is officially called off, and the Negro citizens of Montgomery are urged to return to the buses tomorrow morning on a non-segregated basis. Thinking that all of the forces in the leadership of the South will eventually work out this thing for Negroes. It's going to work out. It's going to roll in on the wheels of inevitability. If we wait for it to work itself out, it will never be worked out. Freedom only comes through persistent revolt, through persistent agitation, through persistently rising up against the system of evil. Buses are integrated in Montgomery, but that is just the beginning. Don't sit down and do nothing, because if you stop now, we will be in the dungeons of segregation and discrimination for another 100 years. And our children and our children's children will suffer all of the bondage that we have lived under for years. It will be a long time before we forget the freedom rides. We just decided to take a ride for freedom. As a result of this, we were able to end segregation in interstate travel.
What these people are doing is not just traveling through Alabama in interstate commerce or interstate travel. They're buying tickets from town to town and getting off in each town and seeking through mixed groups, Negro men and white women, to force themselves into situations which tend to inflame the local people and incense them by going into waiting rooms, restaurants, cafes, lunch counters, which are traditionally and in many cases required by city ordinance to be segregated. Now, the best thing for King to do is to get out of Alabama as quickly as he can, because he's a menace to the peace of this city.
Now I'm tired of segregation, and now I want my equal rights. Oh, well, respect and education. Oh, well, not total integration. Now that's why I'm fighting for my rights. Oh, I'm fighting for my rights. Yes, I'm fighting for my rights. Yes, I'm fighting for my rights. By myself, that I had no windows, so the air couldn't come through. And I felt so hot and stuffy up there, I didn't know what to do. So I was fighting for my rights. So I was fighting for my rights. I was fighting for my rights. I was fighting for my rights. That's why I'm fighting for my rights. Oh, I'm fighting for my rights. Yes, I'm fighting for my rights. Yes, I'm fighting.
We've had an ugly mob outside. They have injured some of the federal marshals. They burned some automobiles. But we are not giving in for what we are standing for. And maybe it takes something like this for the federal government to see that Alabama is not going to place any limit upon itself. It must be imposed from without.
I ain't gonna go tell Papa Wolf.
You know, when I say don't be afraid, you know what I really mean. Don't even be afraid to die. But I submit to you tonight, no man is free if he fears death. But the minute you conquer the fear of death at that moment, you're free. And you must say somehow, I don't have much money. I don't have much education. I may not be able to read and write, but I have the capacity to die.